The Book of Enoch. Book 1. Watchers. Enoch 1. Enoch answered and spoke. I, Enoch, a righteous, whose eyes were opened by God, that he might see a vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angels showed me, and from them I heard everything, and I understood what I saw, but not for this generation, but for the remote generations which are for to come. Concerning the elect I spoke, and uttered a parable concerning them. The Holy and Great One will come forth from his dwelling, the God of the world. Going from thence he will tread on Mount Sinai, and appear with his hosts, and in the strength of his might appear from heaven. Every one will be smitten with fear, and the watchers will quake, and great fear and trembling will seize them unto the ends of the earth. The high mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be made low, and will melt like wax before the flame. The earth will be rent, and all that is upon the earth will perish, and there will be a judgment upon everything, and upon all the righteous. But to the righteous he will give peace, and will protect the elect, and grace will be upon them, and they will all belong to God, and it will be well with them, and they will be blessed, and the light of God will shine upon them. Lo, he comes with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon them, and he will destroy the ungodly, and will convict all flesh of all that the sinners and ungodly have wrought, and ungodly committed against him. Enoch 2. I observed everything that took place in the heaven, how the luminaries, which are in the heaven, do not deviate from their orbits, how they all rise, and set in order, each in its season, and transgress not against their appointed order. Behold you the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it from first to last, how unvaryingly every work of God appears. Behold the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is full of water, and clouds, dew, and rain lie upon it. Enoch 3. I observed, and saw how all the trees seem as though they had withered, and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees which do not lose their foliage but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years until the new comes. Enoch 4. Again I observed the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth over against it. And you seek shade and shelter against the heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with glowing heat, and so you cannot tread on the earth or on a rock by reason of its heat. Enoch 5. I observed how the trees cover themselves with green leaves, and bear fruit. Wherefore give you heed to everything, and recognize how he who lives forever has made all this for you. How his works are before him in each succeeding year, and all his works serve him, and alter not, but everything is done as God has ordained. Behold how the seas and the rivers together accomplish their task. But as for you, you have not continued steadfast, and the law of the Lord have you not fulfilled, but have transgressed it, and have slanderously spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. O you hard-hearted! You will find no peace. Therefore will you execrate your days, and be deprived of the years of your life. But the years of your destruction will be multiplied in eternal execration, and you will find no mercy. In those days you shall give your name for an eternal execration unto all the righteous, and they will evermore execrate you as sinners, you together with sinners. But for the elect there will be light, and joy, and peace, and they will inherit the earth. But upon you you ungodly, there will be execration. Then to wisdom will be bestowed on the elect, and they will all live, and never again sin, either through heedlessness or through pride, but they who are wise will be humble nor fall again into sin. They will not be punished all the days of their life, nor will they die of plagues or visitations of wrath, but they will complete the full number of the days of their life, and their lives will grow old in peace, and the years of their joy will be many in eternal happiness and peace all the days of their life. Enoch 6. It came to pass when the children of men had multiplied in those days that beautiful and comely daughters were born unto them. The angels, the sons of the heavens, saw, and lusted after them, spoke to one another, Come, now let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget children. Samjaza, who was their leader, spoke unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed, and then I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. Then answered all unto him, and spoke, Let us all swear an oath, and bind ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to carry it into execution. Then they swore all together, and bound themselves by mutual imprecations to its fulfillment. They were in all 200. They descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon, and they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn, and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. These are the names of their leaders: Samjaza, their leader, Urekabamiel, Kokabeel, Tamiel, Ramuel, Danel, Zokilo, Sarakujal, Asael, Ameros, Batral, Anani, Zakeb, Samsaviel, Satael, Tril, Jumjael, Arazjal. These are their chiefs of tens, and all the others were with them. Enoch 7. They took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go in unto them, and they mixed with them, and taught them charms, and enchantments, and made them acquainted with the cutting of roots, and of woods. They became pregnant, and they bare great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells. These consumed all the acquisitions of men until men could no longer sustain them. Then the giants turned them against mankind in order to devour them. They began to sin against birds, and beasts, and reptiles, and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drink the blood thereof. Then the earth complained of the unrighteous ones. Enoch 8. Azazel taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and coats of mail, and made known to them metals, and the art of working them, bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyebrows, and the most costly and choicest stones, and all colouring tinctures, so that the world was changed. There arose great godlessness, and much fornication, and they sinned, and all their ways became corrupt. Amzarach taught all the enchanters, and root-cutters, Ameros the resolving of enchantments, Brickle taught the astrologers, Cockable the signs, and Timael taught astrology, and Astrodel the course of the moon. As men perished, they cried, and their voice went up to heaven. Enoch 9. Then Michael, Gabriel, Shorjan, and Yorjan looked down from heaven, and saw the great quantity of blood that had been shed upon the earth, and all the wrong that had been wrought upon the earth. They spoke to one another, The earth made without inhabitant echoes the voice of their crying up to the gate of heaven. Now to you, holy ones of heaven, complain the souls of men, saying, procure us justice with the Most High. They spoke to their Lord the King. Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, the throne of your glory unto all the generations of the ages, and your name holy and glorious unto all the ages. Blessed and glorious are you. You has made all things, and over all things has you dominion, and all things are naked, and open in your sight, and you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. See then what Azazel has done, how he has taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the secret things of the world which were wrought in the heavens. Samjaza, to whom you had given authority to bear rule over his associates, has made known enchantments. They have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with them, with those women, and defiled themselves, and revealed these sins unto them. The women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. Now behold, the spirits of the souls which have died are crying and complaining to the gate of heaven, and their lamentations are ascending, and they cannot escape from the unrighteousness which is wrought on the earth. You know all things before they come to pass, and you knows this thing, and everything affecting them, and yet you did not speak to us. What are we therefore to do in regard to this? Enoch 10. Then spoke the Most High, the Great and Holy One, and sent Jalaljur to the son of Lamech, and said to him, tell him in my name, hide thyself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching. For the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge will presently come upon the whole earth, and all that is on it will be destroyed. Now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all generations. Again the Lord spoke to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and place him in the darkness. Make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudiel, and place him therein. Place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face that he may not see the light. On the great day of judgment he shall be cast into the fire. Heal the earth which the angels have defiled, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that I will heal the earth, and that all the children of men shall not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed, and have taught their sons. The whole earth has been defiled through the teaching of the works of Azazel. To him ascribe all the sin. God said to Gabriel, proceed against the bastards, and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication. Destroy the children of fornication, and the children of the watchers from amongst men. Lead them out, and send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For they shall not have length of days. No request that they make of you will be granted unto their fathers on their behalf, although they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. The Lord said unto Michael, go, announce to Samjaza and his associates who have united themselves with women so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. When all their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast unto the hills of the earth for 70 generations until the day of their judgment, and of their consummation, until the judgment which is forever and ever is consummated. In those days they will be led off to the abyss of fire. They will be confined in torment, and in prison forever and ever. Whosoever shall be condemned, and be destroyed with them from thenceforward, will be bound together with them to the end of all generations. Destroy all the lustful souls, and the children of the watchers, because they have oppressed mankind. Destroy all oppression from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And the plant of righteousness and uprightness will appear, labor will prove a blessing. Righteousness and uprightness will be established in joy forevermore. Then will all the righteous escape, and will live until they beget 1,000 children, and all the days of their youth, and their old age, and Shabbat will they complete in peace. In those days will the whole earth be tilled in righteousness, and will all be planted with trees, and be full of blessing. All desirable trees will be planted on it, and vines will be planted on it. The vine which is planted thereon will yield wine in abundance, and of all the seed which is sown thereon will each measure bear 10,000, and each measure of olives will yield 10 presses of oil. Cleanse the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness, and from all uncleanness which is wrought upon the earth. Destroy them from off the earth. All the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer me adoration and praise, and all will worship me. The earth will be cleansed from all corruption, and from all sin, and from all punishment and torment, and I will never again send upon it, from generation to generation, forever. Enoch 11. In those days I will open the store chambers of blessing which are in the heaven, so as to send them down upon the earth over the work and labor of the children of men. Peace and justice will be wedded throughout all the days of the world, and throughout all the generations of the world. Enoch Slavonic 1. There was a very wise man, and a worker of great things. God loved him, and received him, so that he should see the heavenly abodes, the kingdoms of the wise, great, inconceivable, and never-changing God, the Lord of all, the wonderful, and glorious, and bright, and all-beholding station of the servants of the Lord, and the unapproachable throne of the Lord, and the degrees and manifestations of the incorporeal hosts, and should be an eyewitness of the unspeakable ministrations of the multitude of creatures, and of the varying appearance, and indescribable singing, of the host of cherubim, and of the immeasurable world. At that time he said, Hardly had I accomplished 165 years when I begat my son Methuselah. After that I lived 200 years, and accomplished all the years of my life, 365 years. On the first day of the first month, I was alone in my house, and I rested on my bed, and slept. As I slept, a great grief came upon my heart, and I wept with mine eyes in my dream, and I could not understand what this grief meant, or what would happen to me. There appeared to me 2 men very tall, such as I have never seen on earth. Their faces shone like the sun, and their eyes were like burning lamps, and fire came forth from their lips. Their dress had the appearance of feathers. Their feet were purple, their wings were brighter than gold, their hands whiter than snow. They stood at the head of my bed, and called me by my name. I awoke from my sleep, and saw clearly these men standing in front of me. I hastened, and made obeisance to them, and was terrified, and the appearance of my countenance was changed from fear. These men said to me, Be of good cheer, Enoch, be not afraid. The everlasting God has sent us to you, and lo, today you shall ascend with us into heaven. Tell your sons, and your servants, all who work in your house, and let no one seek you, until the Lord bring you back to them. I hastened to obey them, and went out of my house. I called my sons Methuselah, Regem, and Gadel, and told them what wonderful things the two men had said to me. Enoch Slavonic 2. Hear me, my children, for I do not know where I am going, or what awaits me. Now, my children, I say unto you, turn not aside from God. Walk before the face of the Lord, and keep his judgments, and do not worship vain gods who did not make heaven and earth, for these will perish, and also those who worship them. But may God make confident your hearts in the fear of him. Now, my children, let no one seek me until the Lord brings me back to you. Enoch Slavonic 3. It came to pass when I had spoken to my sons, these men summoned me, and took me on their wings, and placed me on the clouds. Lo, the clouds moved. Again higher I saw the air, and higher I saw the ether. They placed me in the first heaven. They showed me a very great sea, greater than the earthly sea. Enoch Slavonic 4. And they brought before my face the elders, and the rulers of the orders of the stars. They showed me the 200 angels who rule the stars, and their heavenly service, and they fly with their wings, and go round all as they float. Enoch Slavonic 5. And then I looked, and saw the treasuries of the snow, and ice, and the angels who guard their terrible store places, and the treasuries of the clouds from which they come forth, and into which they enter. Enoch Slavonic 6. And they showed me the treasuries of the dew, like oil for anointing, and its form was in appearance like that of all earthly colours. Also many angels keeping their treasuries, and they shut, and opened them. Enoch Slavonic 7. And the men took me, and brought me to the second heaven, and showed me the darkness. There I saw the prisoners suspended, reserved for awaiting the eternal judgment. These angels were gloomy in appearance, more than the darkness of the earth. They unceasingly wept every hour. And I said to the men who were with me, Why are these men continually tortured? And the men answered me, These they who repelled from the Lord, who obeyed not the commandments of God, and took counsel of their own will, and transgressed together with their prince, and have been already confined to the second heaven. I felt great pity for them. Lo, the angels made obeisance to me, and said to me, O man of God, pray for us to the Lord. I answered them, Who am a mortal man, that I should pray for angels? Who knows where I go, or what awaits me, or who prays for me? Enoch 12. Before all these things fell out, Enoch was hidden, and no one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he abode, and what had become of him. All his activities had to do with the holy ones, and with the watchers in his days. I, Enoch, was blessing the great Lord, and the King of the world, when lo, the watchers called me Enoch, the scribe, and spoke to me. Enoch, you scribe of righteousness, go, announce to the watchers of the heaven who have abandoned the high heaven, and the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of men do, and have taken unto themselves wives, and have grossly defiled themselves on the earth. They will have no peace on the earth nor forgiveness of sin, and inasmuch as they delight themselves in their children, the murder of their beloved ones they shall see, and over the destruction of their children will they lament, and will make supplication unto eternity, but mercy and peace will they not attain. Chapter 13. Enoch went, and said, Azazel, you shall find no peace. A severe sentence has gone forth against you. Raphael shall put you in bonds. Alleviation, intercession, and mercy will not be accorded to you, because of the oppression which you has taught, because of all the works of blasphemy, oppression, and sin which you has shown to the children of men. Then proceeding farther, I spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, and were seized with fear and trembling. They besought me to draw up a petition for them that they might find forgiveness, and to take their petition into the presence of God in heaven. For from thenceforward they could not speak nor lift up their eyes to heaven for shame of their sins for which they were punished. Then I composed their petition, and the prayer on behalf of their spirit, for their individual deeds for which they besought forgiveness and forbearance. I went off, and sat down at the waters of Dan, in Dan, to the right of the west of Hermon. I read their petition until I fell asleep. Behold, a dream visited me, and visions fell down upon me. I saw the vision of a chastisement to the intent that I should recount it to the sons of the heaven to reprimand them. When I awaked, I came to them, and they were all sitting together weeping with their faces covered at Erbel-Jeel, which is between Lebanon and Senessa. I recounted to them all the visions which I had seen in my sleep, and I began to recount those words of righteousness, and to reprimand the heavenly watchers. Enoch 14. This book is the word of righteousness, and the reprimand of the eternal watchers, in accordance with the commandment of the Holy and Great One in that vision. I saw in my sleep what I will now recount with a tongue of flesh, and with my breath, which the Great One has put into the mouth of men, that they might converse with it, and understand in their heart. As he has created man, and given to him the power of understanding the word of wisdom, so has he created me also, and given me the power of reprimanding the watchers, the sons of heaven. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared so. Your petition will not be granted throughout all the days of eternity. That judgment has been finally passed upon you, and no indulgence will be granted to you. From henceforth, you will never again ascend into heaven to all eternity. The decree has gone forth on the earth. They shall bind you for all the days of eternity. But previously you will see the destruction of your beloved sons, and you will not have them in your keeping, but they will fall before you by the sword. Your petition on their behalf will not be granted, nor that on your own. Likewise, despite your tears and prayers, you will receive nothing whatever contained in the writing which I have written. The vision appeared to me so. Behold, in the vision clouds invited me, and the mist invited me. The course of the stars and the lightnings drove and impelled me, and the winds in the vision gave me wings, and drove me. they lifted me up into heaven, and I came until I drew nigh to a wall which is built of crystals, and surrounded by a fiery flame, and it began to affright me. I went into the fiery flame, and drew nigh to a large house which was built of crystals, and the walls of that house were like a mosaic crystal floor, and its groundwork was of crystal. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars, and lightnings, with fiery cherubim between, and their heaven was water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls of the house, and its portal blazed with fire. I entered into that house, and it was hot as fire, and cold as ice. There were no delights of life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling gat hold upon me. As I quaked and trembled, I fell upon my face, and beheld in a vision. Lo! There was a second house, greater than the former, all the portals of which stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire. In every respect it so excelled in splendor and magnificence and extent that I cannot describe to you its splendor and its extent. Its floor was fire, and above it were lightnings, and the path of the stars, and its ceiling also was flaming fire. I looked, and saw therein a lofty throne. Its appearance was as hoarfrost, its circuit was as a shining sun, and the voices of cherubim. From underneath the great throne came streams of flaming fire, so that it was impossible to look thereon. The great glory sat thereon, and his raiment shone more brightly than the sun, and was whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter, and could behold the face of the honored and glorious one, and no flesh could behold him. A flaming fire was round about him, and a great fire stood before him, and none of those who were around him could draw near him. 10,000 times 10,000 were before him, but he stood in no need of counsel. The holiness of the holy ones, who were near him, did not leave by night nor depart from him. Until then I had had a veil on my face, and I was trembling. Then the Lord called me with his own mouth, and spoke to me. Come here, Enoch, and hear my holy word. He made me rise up, and approach the door. But I turned my face downwards. Enoch 15. He answered, and spoke to me with his voice I have heard. Fear not, Enoch, you righteous man, and scribe of righteousness. Approach, and hear my voice. Go say to the watchers of heaven who have sent you to intercede for them. You should intercede for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have you left the high, holy, eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourself with the daughters of men, and taken unto yourselves wives, and done like to the children of earth, and begotten giant sons? Whilst you are still spiritual, holy, in the enjoyment of eternal life, you have denied yourselves with women, have begotten with the blood of flesh, and have lusted after the blood of men, and produced flesh and blood, as those produce them who are mortal and short-lived. Therefore I have given them wives also, that they might impregnate them, and children be born by them, that so nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, in the enjoyment of eternal immortal life, for all generations of the world. Therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for the spiritual have their dwelling in heaven. Now, the giants, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, will be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth will be their dwelling. Evil spirits proceed from their bodies, because they are created from above, from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They will be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits will they be named. The spirits of heaven have their dwelling in heaven, but the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, have on the earth their dwelling. The spirits of the giants will devour, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and cause destruction on the earth, and work affliction. They will take no kind of food, nor will they thirst, and they will be invisible. These spirits will rise up against the children of men, and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. Enoch 16. In the days of murder, and of destruction, and of the death of the giants, when the spirits have gone forth from the souls of their flesh, in order to destroy without incurring judgment. So they will destroy until the day when the great consummation of the great world be consummated over the watchers and the godless. Now as to the watchers who have sent you to intercede for them, who had been for a time in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, and though the hidden things had not yet been revealed to you, you knew worthless mysteries, and these in the hardness of your hearts you have recounted to the women, and through these mysteries women and men work much evil on earth. Therefore say to them, have no peace. Enoch Slavonic 19. And these men took me thence, and brought me to the sixth heaven. I saw there 7 bands of angels, very bright and glorious, and their faces shining more than the rays of the sun. They are resplendent, and there is no difference in their countenances, or their manner, or the style of their clothing. These orders arrange and study the revolutions of the stars, and the changes of the moon, and revolutions of the sun, and superintend the good or evil condition of the world. They arrange teachings and instructions, and sweet speaking, and singing, and all kinds of glorious praise. These are the archangels who are appointed over the angels. They hold in subjection all living things both in heaven and earth. They are the angels who are over seasons and years, and the angels who are over rivers and the sea, and those who are over the fruits of the earth, and the angels over every herb, giving all kinds of nourishment to every living thing. The angels over all souls of men, who write down all their works and their lives before the face of the Lord. In the midst of them are 7 phoenixes, and 7 cherubims, and 7 6-winged creatures, being as one voice, and singing with one voice. And it is not possible to describe their singing, and they rejoice before the Lord at his footstool. Enoch Slavonic 8. And these men took me from thence, and brought me to the 3rd heaven, and placed me in the midst of a garden, a place such as has never been known for the goodliness of its appearance. I saw all the trees of beautiful colours, and their fruits ripe, and fragrant, and all kinds of food which they produced, springing up with delightful fragrance. In the midst the tree of life, in that place, on which God rests when he comes into paradise. This tree cannot be described for its excellence and sweet odour. It is beautiful more than any created thing. On all sides in appearance it is like gold, and crimson, and transparent as fire, and it covers everything. From its root in the garden, there go forth 4 streams which pour honey, and milk, oil, and wine, and are separated in 4 directions, and go about with a soft course. They go down to the paradise of Eden, between corruptibility and incorruptibility. Thence they go along the earth, and have a revolution in their circle like also the other elements. There is another tree, an olive tree always distilling oil. There is no tree there without fruit, and every tree is blessed. There are 300 angels very glorious, who keep the garden, and with never-ceasing voices, and blessed singing, they serve the Lord every day. I said, what a very blessed place this is. Enoch Slavonic 9. And those men spake unto me, this place, Enoch, is prepared for the righteous who endure every kind of attack in their lives from those who afflict their souls, who turn away their eyes from unrighteousness, and accomplish a righteous judgment, and also give bread to the hungry, clothe the naked, raise the fallen, assist the orphans who are oppressed, and who walk without blame before the face of the Lord and serve him only. This place is prepared for them as an eternal inheritance. Enoch Slavonic 10. Then the men led me to the northern region, and showed me there a very terrible place. There are all sorts of tortures in that place. Savage darkness, and impenetrable gloom, and there is no light there, but a gloomy fire is always burning, and a fiery river goes forth. All that place has fire on all sides, and on all sides cold, and ice, so it burns, and freezes. The prisoners are very savage. The angels terrible and without pity, carrying savage weapons, and their torture was unmerciful. I said, woe, woe, how terrible is this place! And the men said to me, this place, Enoch, is prepared for those who do not honor God, who commit evil deeds on earth, sodomitic vice, witchcraft, enchantments, devilish magic, and who boast of their evil deeds, stealing, lying, calumnies, envy, evil thoughts, fornication, and murder, who steal the souls of wretched men, oppressing the poor, and spoiling them of their possessions, and themselves grow rich by the taking of other men's possessions, injuring them, who when they might feed the hungry, allow them to die of famine, who when they might clothe them, strip them naked, who do not know their Creator, and have worshipped gods without life, who can neither see nor hear, being vain gods, and have fashioned the forms of idols, and bowed down to a contemptible thing, made with hands. For all these this place is prepared for an eternal inheritance. Enoch 17. They took me away to a place where there were forms like flaming fire, and when they wished they appeared as men. They conducted me to the place of the whirlwind, and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. I saw the places of the luminaries, and of the thunder at the ends thereof, in the depths thereof, a fiery bow and arrows, and a quiver, and a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. They took me to the water of life, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. I came to a river of fire, the fire of which flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea towards the west. I saw all the great rivers, and came to a great darkness, and went to the place where all flesh wanders. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and the place whence the waters of the entire deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. Enoch 18. I saw the chambers of all the winds, and I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. I saw the cornerstone of the earth, I saw the four winds which bear the earth, and the firmament of the heaven. I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven, and of their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds which turned the heaven, which bring the circumference of the sun, and all the stars to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth which carry the clouds, and I saw the paths of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heaven above. I proceeded towards the south, and there it burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. Indeed, of those towards the east, 1 was of coloured stone, 1 of pearls, 1 of antimony, and those towards the south of red stone. But the middle one reached to heaven like the throne of God, of alabaster, and the summit of the throne was of sapphire. I saw a flaming fire which was in all the mountains. I saw there a place over against the great earth. There the heavens were gathered together. I saw a deep abyss with pillars of heavenly fire, and among them I saw pillars of heavenly fire fall which were in number beyond count, alike towards the height, and towards the depth. Over that abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of the heaven above, and no foundation of earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste place. What I saw there was horrible. 7 stars like great burning mountains, and like spirits, which besought me. The angel said, "This is the place where heaven and earth terminate. It serves for a prism for the stars of heaven and the host of heaven. The stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of God before their rising, because they did not come forth at the appointed time. He was wroth with them and bound them until the time when their guilt should be consummated in the year of the mystery." Enoch 19. Uriel said to me, "Here will stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits assuming many different forms have defiled mankind, and will lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here they will stand until the day of the great judgment, on which they shall be judged until they are consummated. With their women also who led astray the angels of heaven, it will fare in like manner as with their friends. I, Enoch, alone saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man will see what I have seen as I have seen." Enoch 20. These are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels, the angel over the world and over Tartarus. Raphael, one of the holy angels, the angel of the spirits of men. Ariel, one of the holy angels, who takes vengeance on the world and on the luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels, to wit, he that is set over the best part of mankind, over the people. Serachiel, one of the holy angels who is set over the spirits of the children of men whose spirits have sinned. Gabriel, one of the holy angels who is over paradise, the seraphim and the cherubim. Enoch 21. I went round to the place where nothing was made. I saw there something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. Here I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it, like great mountains, and flaming as with fire. On this occasion I said, "For what sin are they bound, and on what account they have been cast in here?" Then spoke Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, "Wherefore do you ask, and why dost you inquire, and are curious? These are the stars which have transgressed the commandment of God, and are bound here until 10,000 ages, the number of the days of their guilt, are consummated." From thence I went to another place, which was still more horrible than the former, and I saw a horrible thing. A great fire was there which flamed and blazed. The place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire. Its extent and size I could not see, nor was I able to see its origin. Then I spoke. "How horrible this place is, and how hideous to look upon!" Then Uriel answered me, one of the holy angels who was with me. He answered and spoke to me, "Why do you entertain such fear and alarm at this horrible place and in the presence of this pain?" He spoke to me, "This place is the prison of the angels, and here they will be imprisoned forever." Enoch Slavonic 11. And the men took me, and conducted me to the fourth heaven, and showed me all the comings and goings forth, and all the rays of the light of the sun and moon. I measured their goings and computed their light. I saw that the sun has a light 7 times greater than the moon. I beheld their circle and their chariot, on which each goes like a wind advancing with astonishing swiftness, and they have no rest day or night, coming or going. There are 4 great stars. Each star has under it 1,000 stars at the right of the chariot of the sun, and 4 at the left, each having under it 1,000 stars. Altogether 8,015 myriads of angels go out with the sun, and attend him during the day, and by night 1,000. Each angel has 6 wings. They go before the chariot of the sun. 100 angels keep warm and light up the sun. Enoch 22. Then I went to another place, and he showed me in the west a great high mountain and hard rocks, and 4 beautiful places. There were there deep and wide places perfectly smooth as something which rolls, and deep and black to look at. This time Raphael answered me, one of the holy angels who was with me, and spoke to me, "These hollow places, whereon the spirits of the souls of the dead are assembled, have been created to this very end, that all the souls of the children of men should assemble here. These places are appointed as their habitation until the day of their judgment, and until their appointed period, and this appointed period is long until the great judgment comes upon them. I saw the spirits of the children of men who were dead, and their voice penetrated to the heaven and complained. This time I asked the angel Raphael who was with me, and spoke to him, "Whose spirit is that one yonder whose voice so penetrates and complains?" He answered me, and spoke so to me, saying, "This is the spirit which went forth from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew, and he keeps complaining of him until his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed disappears from amongst the seed of men. Therefore at that time I asked regarding him, and regarding the judgment of all, why is one separated from the other? He answered me, and spoke to me, These 3-day visions are made to separate the spirits of the dead, and the souls of the righteous are so separated. There is a spring of water, and light above it. Such likewise has been made for sinners when they die, and are buried in the earth without incurring judgment in their lifetime. Here their souls are placed apart in this great pain, until the great day of judgment and punishment, and torture of the revilers forever, and vengeance for their souls, there they will be bound forever. Such a division has been made for the souls of those who complain, and make known their destruction when they were slain in the days of the sinners. So it has been made for the souls of men who were not righteous, but sinners complete in their crimes. They will be with criminals like themselves, but their souls will not be slain on the day of judgment, nor will they be raised from thence. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and said, Blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who rules forever. Enoch 23. From thence I went to another place towards the west, unto the ends of the earth. I saw a burning fire which ran without resting, and paused not from its course day or night, but regularly. I asked, saying, What is this which rests not? This time Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and spoke to me, This burning fire in the direction of the west, the course of which you have seen all the luminaries of heaven. Enoch 24. From thence I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain range of fire which flamed day and night. I approached it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, each different from the other, and magnificent beautiful stones, and magnificent as a whole, of glorious appearance and fair exterior. 3 towards the east, 1 founded on the other, and 3 towards the south, 1 upon the other, and deep winding ravines, no one of which joined with any other. The 7th mountain was between these, and in their elevation they all resemble the seats of a throne, and the throne was encircled with fragrant trees. Amongst them was a tree such as I had never yet smelt. Neither was any amongst them, nor were others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrance. Its leaves, and blooms, and wood wither not forever, and its fruit is beautiful, and it resembles the dates of a palm. On this occasion I said, Behold this beautiful tree, beautiful to look upon. Its leaves are fair, and its fruit very delightful to the eye. Then answered Michael, one of the holy and honored angels who was with me, and was in charge thereof. Enoch 25. He spoke to me, Enoch, what do you ask as touching the fragrance of this tree, and what do you seek to know? Then Enoch answered him and said, I should like to know about everything, but especially about this tree. He answered me, and said, This high mountain which you have seen, whose summit is like the throne of the Lord, is his throne, where the Holy and Great One, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will sit when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. No mortal is permitted to touch this tree of delicious fragrance until the great day of judgment, when he shall avenge and bring everything to its consummation forever. This tree, I say, will be given to the righteous and humble. By its fruit life will be given to the elect. It will be transplanted to the north, to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. Then they will rejoice with joy and be glad, they will enter the holy habitation. The fragrance thereof will be in their limbs, and they will live a long life on earth such as your fathers have lived. And in their days no sorrow or pain or trouble or calamity will affect them. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, the eternal King, because he has prepared such for the righteous, and has created it and promised to give it to them. Enoch 26. I went from thence to the middle of the earth, and I saw a blessed and fruitful place, and there were branches there which had taken root, and grew out of a dismembered tree. Then I saw a holy mountain, and underneath the mountain to the east of it, a stream which flowed towards the south. I saw towards the east another mountain of the same height, and between them a deep and narrow ravine. In it also ran a stream skirting the mountain. To the west thereof there was another mountain, lower than the former and of small elevation, and underneath it, and between them both was a ravine, and other deep and sterile ravines were at the extremities of all three. All the ravines were deep and narrow of hard rock, and trees were planted upon them. I marveled at the rocks, and I marveled at the ravine, yea, I marveled very much. Enoch 27. Then I said, For what object is this blessed land which is entirely filled with trees, and this accursed valley between? Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and spoke. This accursed valley is for those who are accursed forever. Here will all those be gathered together who utter unseemly words with their lips against God, and speak hard things of his glory. Here will they be gathered together, and here is the place of their punishment. In the last days there will be the spectacle of a righteous judgment upon them in the presence of the righteous continually forever. Here will those who have found mercy bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King. In the days of judgment over the former, they will bless him for the mercy in accordance with which he has assigned them. At that time I also blessed the Lord of glory, and spoke to him, and remembered his greatness, as was befitting. Enoch 28. Then I went towards the east, into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw here nothing save a plain. Nevertheless it was filled with trees of the seed, and water streamed down from above over it. It was manifest that there were many watercourses which flowed as well towards the north as to the west, and here also as everywhere water and dew ascended. Enoch 29. I went to another place, away from the desert, drawing near to the east of the mountain range. Then I saw the trees of judgment, particularly such as give forth the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, and the trees also were similar. Enoch 30. Above these, above the eastern mountain, and not far distant, I saw another place, valleys with unfailing streams. I saw a beautiful tree, which resembles a fragrant tree such as the mastic. On the sides of those valleys I saw sweet-smelling cinnamon, and passing over these I drew nigh to the east. Enoch 31. I saw other mountains on which there were trees, and there flowed forth from them as it were nectar. It is named Cerida and Galbanum. Over that mountain I saw another mountain whereon were aloe trees, and those trees were full of a hard substance like almonds. One of that fruit was better than all fragrant odors. Enoch 32. After these fragrant odors, as I looked towards the north, over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of choice nard, and aromatic trees, and cinnamon, and pepper. Thence I went over the summits of those mountains, far towards the east, and passed above the Erythraean Sea, and went far from it, and passed over the angel Sutil. I came into the garden of righteousness, and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there of goodly fragrance, large, very beautiful, and glorious, and the tree of wisdom which imparts great wisdom to those who eat of it. It is like the carob tree. Its fruit is like the clusters of the vine, very beautiful. The fragrance of the tree goes forth, and penetrates afar. I said, "This tree is beautiful. How beautiful and attractive is its look!" The holy angel Raphael, who was with me, answered me, and said, "This is the tree of wisdom of which your old father, and your aged mother, who were before you, have eaten, and they learnt wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they recognized that they were naked, and were driven out of the garden." Enoch 33. From thence I went to the ends of the earth, and saw there great beasts, each differed from the other, and birds also differing in appearance, and beauty, and voice, and they all differed the one from the other. To the east of these beasts I saw the ends of the earth whereon the heaven rests, and the portals of the heaven were open. I saw how the stars of heaven come forth, and I counted the portals out of which they proceed, and wrote down all their outlets, of each individual star by itself, according to their number, their names, their connections, their positions, their times, and their months, as the holy angel Uriel who was with me showed me. He showed all things to me and wrote them down for me, also their names he wrote for me, and their laws, and their companies. Enoch 34. From thence I went towards the north to the ends of the earth. There I saw a great and glorious wonder at the ends of the whole earth. Here I saw 3 open portals of heaven in the heaven. From each of them proceed north winds. When one of these blows, there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. Out of one portal it blows for good. But when they blow through the 2 other portals, it is with violence, and it brings misfortune on the earth, and they blow violently. Enoch 35. From thence I went towards the west to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 open portals such as I saw in the east, the like portals, and the like outlets. Enoch 36. From thence I went to the south to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 open portals of the heaven. Thence came the south wind, dew, rain, and wind. From thence I went to the east to the ends of the heaven, and saw here the 3 eastern portals of heaven open, and small portals above them. Through each of these small portals pass the stars of heaven, and run their course to the west on the path which is shown to them. When I saw it, I blessed, and so each time I blessed the Lord of glory, who had made the great and glorious wonders, to show the greatness of his work to the angels and the souls of men, that they might praise his work and all his creation, that they might see the work of his might, and praise the great work of his hands, and bless him forever.